We are live together for the first time, coming to you all since damn near Thanksgiving. What's up, everyone? It's 2 a.m. in Sweden. Steven, how you doing, man?
I'm here. I made it.
Look, there's so much that we have to end up talking about because we haven't been aligned. I told everyone that you've still been doing shows at different times. I've still been trying to put some things out. This is the first time we're back, and it's funny how it's coming right when week 18 is about to happen. It's happening right when college football is about to happen. There's a bunch of stars that are going to be on this show. Your boy Jeff is going to be a part of this show. We got some things that work that's really fascinating that we'll end up talking about. I have to bring up some of the different trips that I've been on. We have to talk about what's been going on with you. But before we get into any of this stuff, where have you been? What's been up with you? How's the champion in swimming been?
It's been Thanksgiving. It's been other random. You've been on trips.
Yeah.
So let's also get it. Let's also get this straight. It hasn't been just your boy.
No, it's been me.
That's been
I said it on the last episode. It was me.
The weeks, the trips have just not aligned because we got swimming during the week and we got this, that, and the other going on. And timing doesn't work half the time with that kind of stuff. And it's holiday season, so that shit happens all the time.
Yeah.
However, I think the last time we talked was pre-Thanksgiving.
It was, yeah.
So it's been over a month. Penn State has a new head coach. We finished the season on a 4-game win streak.
Mm-hmm.
Jay Hill is staying at Penn State.
That's good.
Family-wise, because that's next in line. Just school. Kids are good. Everyone's happy. Brooke is good. Wifey's good. Business is booming for her.
That's
Mason
good.
is fucking dominating the pool, man. He is tearing it up like you would not imagine. And I'll talk about that later.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it's the same shit, different days, man. You know.
Yeah.
Every time I talk to you, I never know what. I never know where you're gonna tell me you're at. You said the other day, man. What the hell did you say to me? You said,
the elk.
Yeah,
The hunting.
dead ass dude. I read that and I was like, we've talked about hunting before with the people he works with. We've talked about it. Guns. Look, I'm not gonna be surprised if I get a pick from you one day. It's just you with a moose. I'm not gonna be surprised. So I don't know where are you at? Where are you at right now?
Okay, so I'm in my new place. So this is the background.
Is this the one that was right above the old one?
Yep, 2 floors up. I honestly love this one better than the other one. So I'm gonna touch on what Steven just brought up, and then I'll end up going on everything I've been doing. Another thing is, if you guys hear an echo this week, it's because last time you all didn't hear an echo. I had a couch that was in here that I was trying to sell. I was able to end up selling that, so now it made it a little hollow in this room. And so I got rid of that one. So I'll be getting a new one that I'll put in here. But Steven brought up the hunting. So the reason why I brought that up to him is it was joking, but I was half serious because this dude I work with that he goes elk hunting in Wyoming. Like he takes off like damn near 2 weeks, goes out there. It's like, dude, Christian, you need to end up coming with me at some point. And I was like, I mean, I guess. He said, but we can't start you with elk hunting. We have to take you white-tailed deer hunting in like Virginia first, and then we'll take you out there. I can't tell this stuff to the homies because they're going to be like, what the hell? Can you just do fishing? Like, why do you have to do that?
Stay in your lane.
Exactly. So I'll start with what happened in the beginning. The first week, I thought that Steve and I were going to be able to align for the show. It didn't work because we had a retreat. When we say retreat, this one was only like an hour away, but 15 people from Sweden came. So we ate out every single day. The amount of restaurants that we went to was insane. Checks and numbers don't mean anything to these people. It was out to like 9-10 o'clock. So I was like, all right, damn. Then the next week after that, I was in Pennsylvania, having to do some stuff with another. It was a police department that I was working with on that side.
Where in PA were you at?
So 2 different places, believe it or not. So it was like Harrisburg, and then we had to swing through like Philly as well. So it was both because it was the Pennsylvania State Police. Don't want to say too much on that side because it's a surprise thing that we're going to do. I'll announce it technically next week. I might be able to announce it in next year. But then after that, when we ended up going into Washington State. So that's where I was for numerous different things. I was able to go to the Kraken game. That was crazy. You can bring, I don't have it next to me. I have one, but you can bring carafes to your seat and just drink like straight wine out of them.
Nope.
And then Thursday, there was the Seahawks Rams game. So I was at that one, and I couldn't. It sucks because I couldn't tell anybody until after it happened. So I was there with two different branches of the military. If anybody knows who's out there, you'll know. I just can't say it. But then they did a flyover. So the Coast Guard did a helicopter flyover, which I got to know about beforehand, but I couldn't tell anybody. Clearly, everyone knows why. But that probably, Steven, is the dopest stadium ever. Lumen Field is one of, if not the best stadium I've ever been to.
I had unfortunately I had numerous opportunities to get out there when Jay Hill was with the Seahawks, but just couldn't take advantage of it. That's definitely a place I would love to visit. I also took Mason to a hockey game. Took him to a Caps Rangers game last week. My brother-in-law is a big hockey fan, or big Rangers fan and a hockey fan. So we took Mason to the game. He loved it. We sat like
he had the headphones on and everything.
Yeah. We sat behind like the end zone. We sat behind the goal. So it's easier for him to follow the puck. That's 90% of the game as the fans following the puck. So, but yeah, hockey games are dope.
Yeah. So then when I was out there, we had to do a bunch of different testing. I'll talk about that down the line once everything's announced. But one night we had to ride snowmobiles to get to where we were going. So
of course, dude. Have you ever ridden a snowmobile before?
Twice, not this way, because we were riding it up the side of a mountain and you're like making loops. And then at one point they said, all right, we got to take a break because the snowmobiles are going to overheat. So what we need to do is basically throw snow on the snowmobile to cool it down. Sure. But they end up saying like, all right, don't walk on this side, walk in the middle of where we're going. Because if you walk on the other side, you're going to fall down. And I'm thinking, all right, fall down, maybe like fall over. No, if you take a step too much, it's that much snow that you're just going to fall in. So I said, all right, you know what? This is the next thing I end up learning. So we did that. And then we end up realizing there's just like so many different small cities in Washington State that they just blew up to make small cities in the mountains. And then I didn't know, you probably knew this, but Washington State is divided by a mountain. You can't get to the other side where Washington State University is, Spokane, Washington, and Kentucky. You can't get there from Seattle unless you go over the mountain. Like it's damn near physically impossible.
Mount Rainier, right?
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah. So I had been to Seattle. I went to visit Jordan when he was with the Seahawks. I don't know. I hadn't seen mountains before.
Like until you see them shit.
I hadn't flown over mountains. Like I've been to Denver, but that was after that, and I hadn't seen any airports or any part of the country that had mountains in it. So there was low cloud cover, so you couldn't see the whole mountain. But I saw enough. And when you see something like that, you're like, how is that like a real thing? Yeah. And it's like, I mean, you're 25,000 feet in the air, 30,000 feet in the air almost. And you can see it's as clear as day. And there's like multiple points of it too. You can see them out in the distance, and it's a wild, I think I have a picture of it. It's a wild concept, but yeah, it's pretty insane to see it. And then the Rocky Mountains, I don't know if you've been to Denver, but it's the same thing.
I hear about that. I've never been there. The other part
it's better when you drive up the mountains, because Denver, it's weird because it's flat, and you come into the airport and like you circle around, and you're like, where is this? And then boom, there's the mountains. But going up the mountains, we went like 2 hours north of Denver.
Damn.
And it was like once you reach that point, you're like, oh shit, okay, like these are mountains. Like when we drive to State College, like those are technically mountains. Like
those are real ass mountains.
Those are mountains. Those are
real ones. You know, like you have the snow caps and everything with them.
Bro, it's nuts. But mountains are cool. Anyway, that's
So the last part that I wanted to bring up with this was, as everyone knows, Steven brings up Jordan and Cut Him Out on the show, and out there they know, love, and appreciate all their Seahawks people. Because I was like, one of like my best friends, he knew someone that used to end up playing on the Seahawks. Like they were really cool. Like I've been over to Jordan, stuff like that. They're like, wait, how do you know him? And then they were like, what's his name? And I said, oh, Jordan. Because I always just use the first name. I don't know if people genuinely know. I'm like, what's the last name?
Right.
I was like, Hill. Oh, he was a linebacker on the Super Bowl winning championship team, right? I said, yeah. And then, oh, he was really good. We loved him. Jordan was awesome. And I said, you know what? Y'all, these are white people. And they are just like loving everything about it.
Yep.
And then, it was older people too. They were maybe 60, 70 years old. And those are the ones that retain all of it. And like, oh, I ever to this day, I need you to ask Jordan, like, what are his thoughts on the Marshawn Lynch, Russell Wilson thing? Because that really pissed me off so much. And I said, all right, clearly we're having a therapy session at this point. Mind you, we were just in a sports bar. Like a whole therapy session has just ensued on that and how the Legion of Boom was one of the greatest. They don't know if the current Seattle defense compares to that. And then at the game, they're like, yo, there's Marshawn. Like we see. And I'm like, all right, y'all love your people. So
real ones out there.
Yeah. So that was a big part that I wanted to bring up on that side. I'm going to talk about our friend and loved one of the show before we get into anything else. And I've seen him maybe once more than I've seen Steven. And it's our boy, Jeff.
Jeff.
So haven't talked to Jeff in a while because we had all the different holidays going on. And Jeff was like, he found me. He said, Christian, like, I haven't talked to you in so long. I can't talk to my wife about this type of stuff. I was like, I need to see Christian. I was like, all right, what's up, Jeff? We haven't talked about the head coach hiring at Michigan. We haven't talked about Ohio State and everything that's been going on there. We haven't talked about Alabama coming back on Oklahoma. And then he said, but I do have to say congrats on the Eagles, although I'm really surprised at the game. I was like, what do you mean? He said, well, I know you saw the missed opportunity for Devontae Smith when he could have caught it. And like all of them were talking about it. And me being a wide receiver back in my day, I knew you got to have the leather gloves. Like I knew if it was during my time, I would have caught that. Yeah. And in my head, I'm like, this man really.
They called him. I think they probably called Jeff like Stickum or something like that. Yeah. Sticky fingers, Jeff.
Yeah. He was like, oh, because he also saw the Puka Nacua catch. And the one that was a catch and a not catch.
That was a catch. Fuck what you heard about surviving the ground. No, that was a catch.
Yeah. And then he said, we didn't have that in our day. Like we just had, it was leather or you go bare hands.
Out there, just
That's what Jeff said.
There, bro.
Jeff said, I didn't use gloves back then. It was just my bare hands I used just to catch everything.
Hands. Jeff was the hands team. There wasn't 11 guys on the hands team. It was just Jeff.
No, it was just Jeff. And then he said, oh, you know, my wife kind of wants to go out tomorrow night. But I'm thinking, oh, honey, you know, maybe you could just watch one of the shows with the girls. And we just so happen can stay in for the game because, you know who plays tomorrow, Steven? His team. So he's like, hopefully I can get her to just stay in, go upstairs and just watch them. So I just, so happy to watch Ohio State play. And I said, all right, Jeff, we'll talk about it. Yep.
Yeah.
So that's the big thing. So he's excited for us to end up getting back talking on like Friday so he can bring that up. And he said, I really think we lucked out because watching that Miami Texas A&M game, I think Ohio State can do it. I mean, both of them look bad. And I said, Jeff, I can't disagree with you. So
problem.
That was the Jeff thing. Yeah. He said he was a wide receiver and then he had to change over into quarterback because, as he got older.
Yeah, it's so classic. Such a classic switch. Switch it up, my guy. So, bro, real quick. I just hopped on the ESPN.com real quick to check the score of the Illinois-Tennessee game, which Illinois won. Oh, wow. Shout out to Illinois.
Shout out.
First two headlines on the right. One of them.
We're going to talk about it.
One of them is Cowboys release two-time Pro Bowler Diggs.
Yep.
And just, and Pat's Diggs faces strangulation and assault charges. Dog, that is, you want to talk about a bad day for your family. That is tough day.
I had to go down a rabbit hole with that because someone online said, man, the last time two brothers had this much stuff going on in one day, we still can't talk about. And they said hashtag in Baltimore. So I had to go down the rabbit hole of that. I won't bring it up, but anyone, if they want to, just go look up anything with Earl Thomas. But yeah, I was going to dive into that. I wanted to touch on the NBA stuff because I thought what we just talked about was funny until I ran the numbers for this. This is actually more hilarious, Steven. So
Oh,
I'll
real quick.
yeah,
Sorry, you keep mentioning things that trigger something. Did you see the Nikola Jokic injury last night?
I did. He
So
lucked out.
I thought, I didn't think it didn't look like he tore anything, like it was his knee. I think the
Hmm.
one angle showed it, but it looked like he got kicked in the shin more than anything. But in terms of his ankle, but regardless, he did get lucky. Obviously, Twitter doctor was saying he was out
They
for
were
the season,
diagnosing the
his
shit
career's
out of
over
that.
with, whatever.
Yeah,
Hyperextension of his knee, and he'll
4.
be out for 4 weeks.
Yeah.
So also, someone brought up a good point. If that causes him to miss or not meet the requirements for minimum games
Ooh.
played for all NBA team, MVP, and all that
Mhm.
shit, and whatever, then they gotta fix that,
Change him.
change that, because he's fucking
He's had a sensational season.
man. I'm not
That
sure if he's out or
54-point game one.
I'm not sure. Yeah, he was also that game he had the other night, the 50-point
Mhm.
triple double.
Yeah.
First time in NBA history someone's had a 50, 15, and 15 triple double. 50,
Mhm.
50, 55, 15, and 15.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But anyway, keep going with the
Yeah.
NBA stuff.
All right. So we chose 5 players. Well, before I do this, Steven, do you want me to give the total of just the starting 5 or the starting 5 and the bench players?
Starting 5, and then remind me who are my bench players?
Okay, cool.
I
I'm
forget
glad
my
you said
lineup
that.
already.
So Steven's lineup was Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, Cade Cunningham, Austin Reeves, and then Zion Williamson. And then
Curry,
his
KD. What was it?
Cade,
Yep.
Reeves,
Yep.
and Zion Williamson.
Fucking A.
So I'm gonna tell you my starters, and then we'll go to the bench in a second. So my
Okay.
starters were Tyrese Maxey, Anthony Edwards, Franz Wagner, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Victor Wembanyama.
You already know
Mind
this.
you, 2 of them, technically 3 of them, have been injuries
Yep.
on and off. So hearing both of those starting 5s, who do you think has more points?
Okay, so 2 things. I have not watched much NBA this year at all.
Me either.
At all. I've seen a couple minutes, a couple games. Not impressed.
Yeah.
I keep up with the Pistons obviously because they're still number 1 in the East. So shout out to the Pistons.
Shut up.
If I had to guess, obviously I follow it. I know who's injured, when they're injured. I keep up on everything. If I had to guess, I would say I'm gonna say me. I don't have much confidence in that, but I think the Wemby injury was big. I'm gonna say myself.
By a lot or a little.
Curry, KD. I want to say a lot. Because Austin Reeves is having a much better season than people think. You got Maxey. He's second. He's third in the league in scoring.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say me though, by a lot.
So I had to run these numbers 3 times because I did not believe it. Because granted, what you exactly said, I've had Giannis that's been in and out.
Right.
Victor Wembanyama's been in and out. So the highest point total of our 10 players is Tyrese Maxey. He had 860 points. The lowest is Zion Williamson with 401 points. You are beating me by 1 point.
Really?
3,187 points you have. I have 3,186.
Wow.
Insane. I had to run it 3 times because I said there's no damn way.
That's crazy.
Looked on 3 different sites as well because I wasn't believing.
That's sure, like 860 to 401 is like obviously a good jump, but like that makes me that then obviously there's so much in between there too.
So the other crazy part about this is anything could have changed it. Franz Wagner and Giannis Antetokounmpo, when I ran the numbers at 12 o'clock today, they both have 545 points. Any one of them could have just had 2 more points, and this would have changed it. Ran it multiple different places. And your top 2 were Kevin Durant and Cade Cunningham with 768 for Cade, 715 for Kevin, and then 691 for Steph. So you have a higher amount of players that are in that 600 threshold.
Reeves is my 4th leading scorer.
Reeves only has 612.
Wow, that's kind of surprising. Yeah, right?
Yeah. So Edwards is second for me, and then I have 2 tied for 3, and then Wemby has 480. Now, this is where we separate by a lot, and it swings the pendulum a shit ton because your bench was Buddy Hield and Naz Reid. Buddy Hield has 232 points. Naz Reid has 471 points. My bench was VJ Edgecombe and then Cedric Howard. Mind you, Edgecombe did have some starting time in there too. And then the Grizzlies are just some shit. So who the hell knows what's happening? Edgecombe had 404 points. Coward had 418 points. To bring my bench to a total of 822 points, and your bench is 703 points.
Damn.
So then that swings all of it, which is why we do the whole bench thing. But looking at starter and starter, it's basically break even.
That's crazy.
At that. Now we'll go into the standings because this is where you just like deleted me off planet Earth.
Yeah. Yo, I told you when you started this, I'm gonna hit on the Pistons one of these years. I'm gonna pick them and pick them and pick them, and I knew it was gonna work out one of these years, and fucking it did.
So that's not where you beat me. You beat me on the West. The East, you had the Pistons and the Hornets. The Pistons are 24-8. The Hornets are 11-21.
Yeah.
And your total record is 35-29 between those two. I have the Knicks and the Sixers. So they're just middle of the pack, both 23-9, 16-14. So my record is 39-23. But then we go to the other side, which is the disappointment of all this. You have the Spurs and the Warriors, 23-9, 17-16. Your total is 40-25. I had the Nuggets and the Mavericks. I don't know if we need to say more about where that's going.
Yeah.
Because the Mavericks. My total is 34-22.
Yeah. The Mavericks are starting to turn on a little bit. Cooper Flag's playing significantly better than he was a month ago. But unless something drastic happens and Giannis misses time or whatever.
Do you think AD is going to stay or be traded?
Bro, why the fuck every time I turn on social media, my man's always hurt. He's always going to the locker room mid-second quarter. No, I don't. Like I'm
and this is a contract year for him.
It's so frustrating to watch him get hurt as much as he does. My man's just stick his hand out there and he's just like you don't know what that is. He's missed some time this year, but every time I turn on the game or turn on social media, my man's always hurt. Do I think they trade him? Is that what you asked me?
Yeah.
I mean, what are you really going to get for him, right? Like, what are you going to get for a very injury-prone, pretty consistently injured Anthony Davis?
Yeah.
No, I don't think they do. I think you gotta finish. Just go through this season. It's definitely not going to go the way everyone wanted to. Who knows if Kyrie's coming back, if he's coming back at all. So let him get healthy. If it gets out of hand, maybe just let AD get healthy. Let Cooper Flag finish the season strong, and then aim for next year. They're going to get a pick. It sucks. Hate to see it, dude. Hate to see that.
Yeah. So that was the other part of just what's going on in terms of them, because now they're bringing up different teams that AD can go to. One of them was the Toronto Raptors. I didn't know the Toronto Raptors were doing as decent as they are.
Yeah, they're what, third in the East? Fourth.
Granted, this year does not count for a lot of teams. Like, they're fourth in the East, 20-14, and they're saying that Trae Young probably is going to get traded, and the center, the Zachary, he's going to be gone too because they're over him. Clearly, they want to build around Johnson at this point.
The East is, I'd love to pick the Pistons, but I don't think that's gonna. It's very hard to pick who's gonna win the East this year.
Yeah,
Knicks look all right. I mean, Celtics are making a comeback. Why are I feel like the Heat and the Sixers are always, and the Bulls last couple of years have always been like 6, 7, 8. Those teams are
the three of them.
Yeah, very middle of the pack. I don't trust the Pacers are 6-27. That's crazy.
I know.
Pelicans are 8-26. Kings are, God, these teams suck, dude. Clippers are 10-21, bro.
Yeah, they just built a new arena too.
That's also wild. But shout out to Kawhi for having 57 the other night.
Yep.
Yeah, Jokic being out, that hurts. I can't stand the Thunder anymore, dude. I'm so over them as a team.
I know.
I'm so done with them. But anyway, East is tough to predict this year. I just don't want the
Yeah,
Knicks to win it. I'm tired of the Knicks already too.
I know. Congrats to Karl Anthony Towns, but we can get into that at a different point in time.
We cannot.
I want to go into the college football playoffs really quick, and then we'll dive into the NFL so we can touch into the Diggs brothers. But college football playoffs. So we have one game on New Year's Eve, then we have 3 games on New Year's Day, very similar to how they did it last year. The New Year's Eve game, which we brought up before, Miami against Ohio State at 7:30. Hopefully this game does not go into the new year. If you all remember the one game that went damn near into the new year, that's just how long it went. Who do you have in that one?
I've said for a long time, I don't think anyone's beating Ohio State this year. Even though they did not look great against Indiana. I still think they're the better team, but it's going to be Miami's offensive line that can possibly win this game. I just don't know who can guard Jeremiah Smith. So I'm going to go with Miami. Or I'm going to go with Ohio State. Ohio State, but they're favored by 9.5. I don't think that's going to happen. Now, I'm picking with my head on that one.
Mm-hmm.
My parlay says otherwise, but I'm going with Ohio State with this because I can't stand them winning anymore. So
yeah, I have Ohio State. Now we'll go to the New Year's Day games. First one is Texas Tech, Oregon. That's the noon game. Who do you have? They have Oregon favored.
I'm gonna go Texas Tech. Their defense is one of the best, if not the best in the country. So I'm gonna go Texas Tech. And so I think Oregon's overrated this year too. Fuck that.
So my next question was the top 2 picks. They're saying are Mendoza and Dante Moore. Do you agree?
If those are the 2 picks in next year's draft, no, dude. Then good luck to whoever's picking them.
Yeah,
no way, dude. It
looks like the Raiders and Jets and those teams are going to be up there.
Good. Then they deserve it.
Yeah. I'm going to go with Oregon. That's just going on a whim. That's probably because I haven't watched enough Texas Tech games. And Steven has 4:00 game. Alabama, Indiana.
I hope Alabama waxes Indiana. I am so done with Indiana. It's been 2 years and that's long enough. I'm tired of it. Bloomington's a great city. Love Bloomington, Indiana. Been there a handful of times. Great stuff. I'm just tired of Indiana. So I'm going with Alabama. And I think Bama's a better team.
Absolutely. The way they came back on Oklahoma. So fun fact for everyone out there. So I have Oklahoma tickets. They asked me if I wanted tickets for the semifinals. And I was like, nah, I don't need, for the quarterfinals and semifinals. I was like, nah, I don't need it. Mind you, I'm 3 hours behind. So I'm trying to keep track of this game, Alabama, Oklahoma. I'm like, shit. And everyone's like, what's going on? I said, I should have gotten my quarterfinal tickets. They're like, why? Oklahoma is waxing them. So I'm over here in distraught, drinking, trying to just process life. And then I close my phone, open it. I was like, fucking bet. We good. Alabama won. Everything's good again. So I'm saying all that because you let Bama hang around. You got to get rid of Alabama early. They do this every year. I'm on the same side. I think Bama can end up pulling it out. Indiana has had a test, but this will be a real test as well.
Ty Simpson, I think, is better suited for these types of moments than Fernando Mendoza.
Yeah. So we'll see. Although they gave Fernando Mendoza the Heisman, we'll see really how that ends up happening. Next one.
By the way, this is the worst Heisman list I've seen in years. If we're talking about the true definition of the award, the most outstanding player, it's not Fernando Mendoza, and it's definitely not Diego Papia too.
No, you saw him with his headphones.
Come on, dog. Bro. Okay. Anyway, Ole Miss and Georgia.
Ole Miss, Georgia.
I'm going to Georgia. I think if anyone is going to beat Ohio State this year, it's going to be Georgia, and they would get them in the next round in the Fiesta Bowl. So I'm going to go Georgia. I think Georgia wins they're favored by 6.5. I think they're going to win by a lot more than that.
I got Georgia as well, but shout out to Lane Kiffin because my guy didn't even have to coach the game, and he still got money for the game. So that's when you're different. Other part is, for anyone that doesn't know, Lane Kiffin essentially gave an ultimatum to his coaches. You going to go with me or you going to stay here? They all said, we're going to go with you. And a lot of Ole Miss was talking shit no one's going with Lane Kiffin. That whole team said, no, we're all going. GAs all the way up to coordinators were all going with them. You see them all pulling up. So LSU got that. And then if you look at the recruiting class he just had, it shows you what Lane Kiffin can do. Granted, I had a conversation with someone. He hasn't won. Like, he's just that name, but he has not won.
When I after Franklin got fired, or actually one of the last few Quick Sign episodes I did, I was going through all the list of names of the top 10 or top 25 coaches that I would rather have than James Franklin, and there was not many. Lane Kiffin was not one of them.
Yeah,
like James Franklin has had a better career than Lane Kiffin, but again, it's Lane Kiffin, so like it follows him wherever he goes.
Yeah. So that's the main thing over there. Those games, of course, then January 8th and 9th are going to be your semifinals. And then the big championship game is going to be January 19th. With that being said, we're going to move over into the NFL because they do have 2 games on Saturday. One of them I could give 2 shits about. We'll talk about that in a second. But we have 2 Saturday games. And then for anyone wondering, the Seahawks and 49ers game is on Saturday night because contractually the 49ers can't play 2 back-to-back Sunday night football games. So they had to end up putting them on the Saturday night game for that. But we got to talk about the Diggs brothers. Number one, Stephon Diggs, it gets to a point of how many times can he get out of certain things, because he is being accused of strangling his chef over money and stuff. And then there's text messages that show it. Then apparently they said his girlfriend, I don't know if it was Cardi or someone else, end up calling the chef. So that's the first side of it. The other side is Trayvon Diggs, who at one point was one of the best cornerbacks in the league for the Cowboys. He got released. Apparently, the rumor is he got released because he wanted to stay back in the Washington area to be with family. He grew up basically in Montgomery County. He wanted to stay there. They denied him. So he said, all right, we're going to fly back, and I'm just going to fly out there. Apparently, they denied him again. So they let him go. Your thoughts on either of the Diggs people?
Everyone's got to stop doing stupid shit.
Yeah.
And stop strangling people, stop assaulting people. Some people need to be assaulted, but probably not your chef.
The old chef, because we got a new chef now.
Right. But the other Diggs, like, I get it, right? Like, I get it that you like it's just convenient to stay back, which players do. Like, it happens, but like, I know, talking to people within the league, I've always wanted to say that, but like, just fly home with the team. Just fly. I get it. It's not convenient at all to fly home. Gotta go, drive to the airport, whatever, be on the next flight, do all that shit. But like, it's part of your job, right? Like, it's part of your job. I've heard stories. Bill Belichick also denying people, like, no, dude. Like, I don't care if your family's waiting for you outside with the car ready to go. Like, get on the plane. You're coming home with us. Like, it is your job to like remain with your team. So like, I get it's inconvenient, but like, I don't really feel bad, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't really feel bad. Now, is that why they released him? Like, no, there's no way. That's the sole reason why.
Deeper stuff. Yeah.
Come on. Yeah, just stop doing dumb shit and stop complaining about shit like that. He's got into it with reporters before. Diggs has. But like, to your point, like, when is, I guess, enough was enough, and it was causing too much. I'm sure there's other things, obviously, we're probably not gonna know about. And then the other one with Stephon, like, bro, stop doing dumb shit.
Yeah.
Stop assaulting people. Stop strangling. Stop doing that shit. Like, I understand you get pissed about things. Trust me, dude. How many times I want to knock out my kid? Like, but I don't
do it.
I'm sure my wife has wanted to punch me in the face a couple of times for stupid shit I've done.
Yeah.
Like, but she hasn't. So like, there's levels to this shit of doing dumb shit and like what you can get away with. You're not gonna get away with assaulting someone and strangling someone, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
like,
especially
when you are who you are, like, it's it's gonna come out no matter what. If you're the starting wide receiver, if you're the 5th string practice squad linebacker, doesn't matter, dude. You are in a high profile spot. Like, I don't know how many times I've had this conversation. I don't know how many times me and Jay Hill have had this conversation, probably a dozen times more. But it's like, bro, stop doing dumb shit.
Yeah.
Like, stop.
Yeah,
like, I say that to my son all the time. Like, I don't have to worry about my daughter. Keep telling my son, like, stop doing dumb shit, dude. Like, and it's like, one of these days, you and I have both been there. Probably, I don't know, maybe who more, but like, there's a saying, like, fuck around and find out, dude.
Yes,
And
yes,
like,
and
I
you're going to
cannot
have
stress
it.
that enough. It's just like, I don't get it, man. Like something's off. Again, there's levels to this shit and like what goes on in someone's brain. I get it, but like, stop doing dumb
Mhm.
shit. I can't feel bad for like the consequences of this stuff. And like it
No,
puts your team in a bad spot. It puts you in a bad spot. Everyone in that family is in a terrible spot. Terrible spot. The
yeah,
chef's in a bad spot. Cardi sure is in a bad spot, whatever, I guess. Like, but like both like everyone involved is in a bad spot for some reason. But they're actually the reason is because Diggs did some dumb shit. Stop
yeah,
strangling people. Stop assaulting
yeah.
people. Again, some of these influencers maybe can be beaten, and I'd love to see that happen. But like regular human beings, like a chef, they don't need to be assaulted,
He
dog.
doesn't need to be
Does
assaulted.
not
I
need to
don't know
be
what you can do.
unless they're coming at you with a knife or like they are threatening your life. And maybe that
Mhm.
happened. Maybe we don't know that. Maybe we're gonna see some footage of that happening. Then I'm wrong. Outside of that, dude, there's no reason for you to beat someone up or strangle them.
Yeah,
None.
100%. Like I 1,000% agree with you.
It's
There's
fucking crazy.
there's no reason. So that
Anyway,
was the other part
god
of
damn.
just trying to comprehend and understand all of that because someone's about to get a good payday. If any of this is true, and then what the shit that sucks about this is number one, the Patriots have to be on his side. So I'm saying all this because in one of my fantasy football leagues, I won. Tiana was the commissioner of it. So she sent me my money and she said, don't spend it all in one spot. And the three things I told her jokingly that I was going to use it for was I was going to send a part of it to the Trump Foundation, a part of it to strippers, and a part of it to Stephon Diggs. And she was like, I don't know who
Yeah.
needs it more because they
All
all need it.
all needed,
So I'm
dude.
saying that because
Yo,
Stephon Diggs.
text Tiana next time I started going on a rant. Text her until I say what's up.
Yeah, I got you. And then the other one is Trayvon Diggs. I think he might be able to go to a playoff contending team. It's weird how when they're releasing him, because I don't know if I would have done it right now, but I get it. Clearly, some other shit that they're not trying to leak out happened. This is just a scapegoat reason. They're just like, all right, let's use this, run with it, give it to a reporter. Cool. But there's some other stuff that's going on. Some people are saying he's going to go to the Packers. I don't know if he would go straight to the Packers. There's everyone that doesn't realize there's a pecking order of who, like, for it's like every other type of waiver. There's an order of who gets first dibs on Trayvon Diggs. Someone's going to pick him up unless there's something that we don't know about. Then they're going to let him go unclaimed throughout that whole process. But that's the first thing over there. Next thing I want to bring up before we go into the games that are really important this upcoming week is coaches. So everyone knows Black Monday is a real thing, and that's going to be this upcoming Monday on the 5th. So January 5th, Steven already guessed one correctly. Who else do you think is fired?
I think Kevin Stefanski keeps his job in Cleveland.
Okay, because he started Shador.
Yeah, and you gotta let that ride.
Jeff likes Shador.
Bet he does. Bet he does. Probably reminds him of himself. I think Aaron Glenn is gone from New York.
You think so?
No, dude. No, they gotta like it. No, there's too much to turn around, and I don't think that's the guy. I think what's his name down in Miami.
Mike. Yeah, McDaniel.
Yeah. Is that right? Yeah.
Pretty sure.
I think he survives because they had the injuries. It wasn't as bad as it probably could have been because they were ass at one point. They're still ass, but like kind of low key ass.
Do you think Tua survives?
I mean, dude, that's a lot of money. Like they're gonna have to pay him anyways. But like, I guess who are you gonna get that's better, right? Like when Tua's on, he is really good. Man, he's just taking a lot of bad hits. He's brain dead. Half the team was hurt, so I think he does. But like, you're gonna have to pay him anyway, so that doesn't. I don't know how much that factors into it because you're gonna have to pay him regardless. I think what's his name survives in Washington.
Dan Quinn.
Yeah.
I think he's fine. Yeah,
Daniels was hurt. Who else? I think Raheem, what's his name? Raheem Morris survives in Atlanta. I think. Who else is on? Anyone else on the hot seat?
I have two for you.
Harbaugh.
The first
Harbaugh staying.
that was going to be my
Tomlin
first
staying.
one.
I think the seasons have to be way more drastic than they are this year. But I think that's it. What about Arizona? Arizona.
That's who I was going to bring up. Yeah,
I guess. Like, is Kyler Murray the
I can
guy?
see. I think they're going to get rid of Kyler Murray.
I would put my
to
money
do
on Arizona getting rid of Kyler Murray before I say Miami gets rid of Tua.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
So
Tennessee's too dog shit to even care. They're 12.5 point underdogs this week against the Jags. So
they got rid of their coach. I'm pretty sure, or did they not? Someone had a mid-season firing.
Giants did.
Okay, so it's just the Giants. Yeah, we knew about that one. We're going to go into the games, but the first thing I do have to say, because a lot of people ask me all the time, what are my thoughts? I don't like to say the NFL is SCRIPTED,
Sure.
but there are certain ways that someone can believe it, in the sense of, we brought this up with baseball. How do you have two teams that tie at the end of a season? There's no goddamn way in hell that happens. But now, and we talked about this earlier on in the year, the Steelers were never favored to win the AFC North. They were never the favorites. It was always the Ravens. And the Ravens had losing streaks, Lamar injured and stuff. And it's coming down to this game. And Lamar may not play. So my other one, I was going to say, it might be a super hot seat if the Steelers win. Because Coach Harbaugh, what he did for Derrick Henry, which is why I think sometimes sports betting is a big thing. He was doing all that, then like, nah, we're just not going to play him anymore. So the Ravens Steelers is an interesting one. Yeah,
and the Steelers don't have DK Metcalf.
That's crazy.
Which is that whole thing. We don't have enough time to get into that. That is one of the. I'm not saying that because I'm a Steelers fan. I think everyone would agree with it. I'm not saying that because I'm a Steelers fan, and I'm a huge Metcalf fan as well. But and I said certain people need to be strangled and assaulted. That fan is one of those people. That is just the most ridiculous situation I have seen in the NFL in a long time, because we've seen players do worse to fans. Like go into the stands and like get in people's faces. We've seen people make Metcalf didn't even make contact with the guy. No. Didn't even come close. Like did not hit that guy in any way. He should have. But that's a ridiculous situation. So like that's one of those things where like when you put it when you start thinking about it and like you go down the rabbit hole of like, okay, well, like the Steelers, there's no way they should have lost to the Browns. If they had Metcalf, they're not losing that game.
That's what I'm saying.
And then you're telling me that the Ravens are finally going to give the ball to Derrick Henry. He's going to run for 200 yards against the Packers in Green Bay.
I know.
And then it comes back. It's in Pittsburgh. You know, that's insane, dude. But anyway.
So then the other part that I want to talk about is then looking at, I told this to Jeff and he couldn't comprehend it. The Panthers could make the playoffs. And the other part is could host a playoff game. And I was explaining to him, I said, Jeff, when you look at the NFC, because he was like, why didn't like the Rams lost? I said, they're playing mind games. Sean McVay is really smart. And I'm not saying they wanted to lose to the Falcons, but shit, they might have been smart to lose to them, because losing to that game, if they win next week and the Seahawks win, they get the Panthers. That's just as good as the first round bye, like 100%. You're telling me you have to play either the Panthers, who would be 9-8, or you're playing the Buccaneers, who are 8-9. Mind you, because the Falcons won, they need the Falcons to lose next week for the Bucs to get in. Otherwise, the Panthers get in no matter what. And you're having an 8-9 team go in. So there's really 2 first-round buys in the NFC.
That's crazy.
At that point. And then the other part is, so 2 games I want to bring up before we go into everything. Number 1, I was watching the Eagles-Bills game. And for everyone out there that doesn't know, the Eagles were winning basically 13-0. They were winning the whole game. And I was watching with 2 of my friends. I said, this game is nowhere near over. Like, the Bills are going to come back. Bills scored the first time. I said, you know what's about to happen. Josh Allen's going to march all the way down the damn field, and he's not giving it to anyone else but himself. Josh Allen scores. The craziest part is they were celebrating the Eagles defense. That wasn't on the Eagles defense that play mishap. That was all Josh Allen just throwing it too far. Like he was wide open on that one. Then let's circle into the other game, the Bears 49ers.
Yep.
That's another reason why I say that the league might be SC. You know what I'm saying? Because how the hell do you tie it 7, 14, 21, 28, 35? And then it comes down to the last play of the game. And Caleb Williams just, for anyone that doesn't know, Steven, I want you to go into this. They keep saying, why didn't he throw it to DJ Moore? Can you explain to them why that's not as simple as it is?
No, when you watch the play, like, yes, DJ Moore was open, but it's like timing of the throw, and he was looking to the right, and he would have had to look left. The safety was coming down. I don't know if Moore would have made it, maybe, but it's a lot more complicated than just a little flick of the wrist, and hopefully he catches it and scores a touchdown.
Yeah. So that's the big thing on that one. And then on top of that, Luther Burden did get injured in that game too.
What was the injury? I saw him.
They were saying like a quad.
Oh, geez, that sucks.
Yeah.
He had a dope game too.
He did. So looking at next year, because people are saying they are good, which I get it, but the NFC West is just that much better. But the Bears do have a team. It does show you that it wasn't just Justin Fields not being the right thing.
Oh, if you just fucking surround them with talent, it's gonna pan out, dude.
Yeah, So just looking at how that is right now, the Bears are 11-5, the Eagles are 11-5. If the Bears lose and the Eagles win, the Eagles play the Commanders, for everyone that's wondering. The Eagles can then move up into that spot. But on the other side, the Bears do have an important game too, and there are some teams that would love to play spoiler for them because the Bears play the Lions, and the Lions would absolutely love to be able to be that team to end up messing up the Lions' chances. I mean, the Bears' chances, because if the Bears jump to number 3, the Eagles are at number 2, it's really just now a makeshift of who wants to play the Packers or an NFC West team. I don't really know who. You don't want an NFC West team. You have a better chance playing the Packers. But we saw what the Packers did a couple years ago to the Cowboys.
I also have no idea like who I want, like who I'm going to pick to win the Super Bowl.
I don't know.
No clue.
There's no real favorites. This is, for anyone out there that's wondering, this is the Josh Allen year. Like if there's ever been a year of do it, it's this year. You don't have, I don't think the Ravens are going to make it. I'll spoil alert. You don't have the Ravens. You don't have Aaron Rodgers. In the prime of his way. You do not have Patrick Mahomes. The Chiefs are injured. The Eagles are not what they used to be. And then you're playing with teams you have the Broncos. We need to figure out what they're going to do. You have the Patriots, who I believe they can be fuck the Jags. And then you have the Texans and the Chargers. Like there's not a team that's there. All you need to do right now, Josh Allen, you have James Cook playing exceptional. You also have Brandon Cooks that's finding the fountain of youth. Continue to use that. You're not even playing Keon Coleman, who was your top pick a couple years ago. So
he isn't. That's also just very disappointing.
Yeah. And if you look at the NFC, it's really just the Seahawks, Rams, Eagles. And you're going to have to fight each other out. Yes, the 49ers, they're saying they're a favorite too. But 2 of those NFC West teams are going to have to play each other at some point. So they're going to knock each other out. And they said if the 49ers win, they'll be home for the rest of the season because they had Super Bowls in Santa Clara.
Yeah. I think I heard that would only be the 3rd or 4th time that home team has played in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Rams did it, I'm pretty sure, as well. But we'll start it because everyone's wondering about our picks for this final week. Panthers, Bucks.
Panthers.
So I have the Bucks only because I'd rather see them in there. But Baker and them need to figure out what they're doing. That whole offense, we really have no idea. You have Mike Evans, who's not the same as himself. He's been injured all year. Chris Godwin clearly is coming back. Luka, they're not using anymore. Yeah. And then you end up wondering what the hell's happening on that side. Next one, we have probably the biggest game of the whole weekend, Seattle against the 49ers.
I'm going to go with the Seahawks.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with the Seahawks.
Same way I was thinking.
Not a lot of confidence, but I'm going to go with the Seahawks.
So I have the Seahawks as well. This part of it does depend on, is George Kittle playing? Is what's
Sure.
going on with Trent Williams as well?
Mm-hmm.
Because I know I was talking to your boy Jeff again, and we were like, Trent Williams doesn't necessarily have to play.
Hey, Jeff knows the need for a left tackle, man. Former quarterback
Yeah,
himself.
he does.
He knows the need for someone to protect his blind side. So I'm sure he's all about it, dude.
So for anyone that's wondering, I didn't even tell you the best story of Jeff. That's safe for the what you got. But I have the Seahawks in that one as well. A game that matters a lot, Saints Falcons.
Falcons.
So plot twist for anyone out there, I'm going with the Saints because if you look at the Falcons' wins and losses here of who they beat, it's confusing, doesn't even make sense. Browns Bengals.
Bengals, and I'm gonna say Myles Garrett does not get the record.
Okay.
I think the Bengals are gonna do the same shit the Steelers did and just quick slants and run the ball.
Yeah, nobody wants the record done to them. But I'm going with the Bengals on that one. I said in the last episode that Myles Garrett was going to get it, or Mike Tomlin and the offense was going to just figure out a way to just not let Myles Garrett get it. And I'm going with the same thing. I think he will get it unless they just start putting like 2-3 people on him just to make sure he doesn't get it. Next one we have is Packers Vikings.
By the way, it also sucks that no one's going to watch that game.
No.
Packers.
Vikings are some shit. Cowboys Giants.
Cowboys.
I have the Cowboys in that one as well. Giants are kind of fighting for a top 5 pick, so I could see them trying to tank a little bit in that one. Titans Jags.
Fuck the Jags, but I'm going with the Jags.
I don't want to say it, so I'm not. I just have to stick to my script. Fuck the Jags. I'm going with the Titans.
Yeah.
As much as the Jags need it. Like if the Jags lose, they lose the AFC South. So we know that they want to end up getting it, but I don't know. Maybe the Titans will do something crazy. Maybe Cam Ward will throw for 300 yards and 2 touchdowns. Who the hell knows? Tony Pollard has one of the quietest 1,000 rushing yard seasons that we've seen in a long time. Next one, Colts Texans.
Texans.
They're playing Riley Leonard for the Colts. That's all you need to know. 44. We didn't even talk about. We've been gone so long. We didn't even talk about 44-year-old Phillip Rivers coming back.
Yeah,
we don't
need to.
So
we're good. That man's got a family.
He does. Jets Bills.
I'm gonna pick the Bills. I would not be surprised if they fuck around and get beat by the Jets. You know what I mean?
Agreed.
Like that's some shit that they would do. I think they beat them. But if I look on Saturday and I see the score of that game and the Jets win, I'm like, okay, saw it coming, I guess.
Yeah. So I have the Bills. My question for you with this Jets Bills game is: do you think the Jets get an interception?
Oh yeah, they haven't had one all season, right?
No.
Oof. Josh Allen makes some tough throws. I don't know. I'm probably gonna go no. How is that possible?
I don't know.
That's crazy. What a stat.
Yeah.
Has that ever been done before where a team has not had an interception all season?
No.
I didn't think so.
They're going to do something nobody's ever done before. The ball's just falling into your hand.
That's crazy.
So the only other crazy stat that they brought up was Sauce Gardner is the first player that's ever been on 2 1-7 streaks of a team. I don't know how you do that.
Bro, that's crazy too.
Yeah. Lions Bears.
What happened?
So I don't know. They fell apart, but hopefully they'll come back next year. Chargers Broncos. Mind you, Justin Herbert, they're probably going to sit.
Yeah, that man took a beating last week. I'm going to go with the Broncos.
I'm going with the Broncos as well. On that one, Chiefs Raiders.
Oof. That's a tough one. I'm going with the Raiders.
I'm going with the Chiefs because the Raiders are tanking. If you look at Max Crosby playing basketball in his house, the Raiders want the number 1 pick. So I got the Chiefs, although they're playing with their 3rd string quarterback because Gardner Minshew's injured as well. Cardinals Rams. I got the Rams. Another fact that I want to bring up, since Jacoby Brissett has started, they have not won a game, but they've done much better on offense. You take with that what you want. Sure. For anyone that's out there still playing fantasy football, start Michael Wilson or Jacoby Brissett and you'll be fine. Next game, Dolphins Patriots.
I'm with the Pats. They're resting by a ton of players.
I have the Pats as well. Quinn Ewers is still the quarterback, which I didn't know we would see the day that Quinn Ewers was going to be playing right now. Commanders, Eagles. So I have the Eagles in this one. They need the game, and then also it's I think Josh Johnson that's playing. I don't know if Marcus Mariota is back. Final one, which is for a playoff spot. It's for the
So
fourth
classic, dude.
seed. It's so everything.
How many
Mind
fucking
you,
times does this happen?
every year they put this game at the end of the season for a reason. It's
The
always
last game
Ravens
of the
Steelers
season, bro.
every single year. Who do you have?
Man, this is tough. I have no clue what Steelers team we're gonna get.
No DK and maybe no Lamar.
And no TJ Watt probably too.
That's a weird injury. That whole situation too.
Yeah, we don't have time to get on that one either.
No.
I think for the Steelers, not having DK is more important in this game than not having Lamar because we saw what Derrick Henry can do. Steelers defense, I don't know if it's not better than the Packers. Well, maybe it is a little bit at times, but the offense of the Steelers, they looked like dog shit against the Browns.
I know.
Oh man, Aaron Rodgers. It's Aaron Rodgers. I know it's not that Aaron Rodgers, but like I gotta lean that way. I think it's gonna come down to that. I think it's gonna be a very low scoring game. The over under right now is 40.5. Might get to that. Maybe the first team, maybe the first team of 20 gets the win. I'm gonna pick Pittsburgh. It's at home. I think that matters in this rivalry at times. But I'm gonna go Pittsburgh on this one. I'm gonna go Pittsburgh 20-16.
So just to go over everything for the Steelers, there's no Darnell Washington, there's no DK Metcalf. TJ Watt is questionable depending on what's going on with this crazy thing that's happened. The Ravens defense is some shit. I'm going with the Steelers. It doesn't even matter. Like it doesn't matter who is playing for the Steelers. I've seen it too many times.
I think Derrick Henry has to carry the ball like 40 to 45 times.
100%. Yeah,
and
no matter if Lamar's
any
playing
shot
or not.
Of winning, because they're going to load the box and force Snoop Huntley to toss the rock around. Steelers secondary has been pretty solid. Ramsey's not going to go out like that. What's his name? Patrick Queen has been playing lights out this season.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Steelers are just a better team, but like we saw last, like the Steelers offense against the Lions looked incredible, and then I didn't know Jalen Warren even played against the Browns. He did, but he didn't have a terrible game, so I have no idea what offense we're gonna get. I'm gonna pick the Steelers, but it's gonna be a sloppy game until I think like the end. One of those types.
Great, that's gonna be one of those big games. And they all knew it. It's annoying because they knew how the schedule was going to roll out. They knew the Ravens Steelers was going to be the game that was going to be on Sunday Night Football. It was just going to happen. What you got?
I got three things. So I got a massage on Sunday morning, 90-minute massage. First time I've gotten a massage in like a good one, probably my entire life. I got one a couple years ago in Jamaica, but it was I think 45 minutes. It was trash. This was like your boys, like my neck and like the shoulders, the traps, all that back there was just hurt, dude, hurt. And that was phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. Just like the body just feels looser, feels like I weigh a little less, feels like weight taken off my shoulders. So your boys still got a little neck thing, but we're gonna let that ride. But that was. Definitely recommend that. I'm not going to wait that long again to get another one. Probably going to do that sooner rather than later. So that was dope. Second thing is I was at the gym. My family's been out, or they just got back tonight. They were in Florida since Friday. So your boys had some just downtime chilling. First of all, I know you're not bored because you're always on the go and doing some random shit. But like I was bored out of my mind at times.
What?
I got an 8-year-old and a 6-year-old running around all the time, and like I worked. I got so much work done yesterday and today when they were out, like because no one's about. I didn't take anyone to school, whatever. But your boy went to the gym last night. I saw this kid, and we all grew up with a kid like that's gifted, physically fastest runner. You can jump the highest, all that kind of stuff. This kid was that kid. I've never seen him before. But it was this. I would say he's probably 14 or so. This I want to say skinny, but this black kid and his dad was there with him, My
Mhm.
man was putting up 375 on the trap bar. In the explosiveness that he had, like coming out of like the squat was incredible. Um, he was doing walking lunges with the 70s, which was insane. And then
No.
at the end of his workout, those were only two things he did. At the end of his workout, my man was on the treadmill running. Kid was a unit, dude, a fucking unit, and he was like not running, but he was sprinting on like it was loud too. And it's a neighborhood gym, so it's a kind of a
Yeah.
smaller place. He was just moving on the treadmill, dude, moving like gliding. Didn't look like he was even touching the ground. So
Mhm.
he would sprint for like 30 to 40 seconds, take a break, sprint again, like take like a 10, 15-second break, sprint again, do the same thing. He did it for like 5 minutes. The kid had the upper body of Devontae Smith, like skinny,
Yeah, yeah.
like but
Slim
like
Reaper.
built, yeah, but built. Dog, when I tell you he had the lower body of Saquon Barkley, I am not exaggerating that. I have never seen a human being look like this in my entire life. Like Barkley is built differently, yes, but like he's somewhat proportional. Devontae Smith is proportional head to toe. Like
Mm.
this kid was just built different, and like he was, yeah, he was not older than 15. He had a baby face, the whole thing. But my man was a fucking unit. That kid is either going to be a world class sprinter or an NFL running back, or it's going to get to him and he's not going to do shit in life.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it's option A or B because my kid was just built different. I've never seen a human being built like that at 15 years old. In person, we've seen the high school recruits for football come through, like you see them on TV. Yeah, sure. But like
Yeah.
I walked in, I saw him, and I went late. I went at my an unusual time for me, so I walked in. I saw him putting up 3 bills, almost 4 on the trap bar. And if anyone knows what the trap bar is, that's just not easy to move around that
Nope.
weight.
Mhm.
Um, but I was like, who's this kid? Like, do I need
Yeah.
to get his autograph now? Because that
Yep.
kid's going places.
Yep.
So there was that. Third thing is talked about before. Mason in the swimming pool. So my man did the freestyle, the backstroke, and he did the freestyle 25 meter and 50 meter. 50 meters down and back. 25 is just down. Then he did the backstroke, 25 meter. My man decimated the rest of these kids. Decimated these kids in the pool, dude. Dusted them. And I knew as soon as you got in the water, I was like, oh, done. Easy. Walk
What?
in the park for this kid. This kid on the 50-meter freestyle was down in like a quarter of the way back before the other kids got even down. He broke the record that he set like a month and a half ago in the 25-meter freestyle. And then clean house and the backstroke. It's really fun to watch.
Mhm.
Especially I don't have to coach him or anything in this because Lord knows I can't swim, but it's just fun to watch him do this. And on the way to the swim meet, I was like, bro, you're the best at this, right? Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, just go out and do it. Like, go out and show these kids you're the best. And he was like, all right, and just did it. It's very fun to watch. And then it's cool. Like when I see it, I've sent you videos. Like my boys that are in our circle, they all I've seen him do things. But like this, when there's other people that come
Yeah.
up to me, like,
It's
is that like
special.
that's your boy? I'm like, yeah. They're like, yeah, he's got it. I'm like, I know, like he does.
Mhm.
So very impressive to watch. Kid works hard. He has swim practice 3 days a week. Fucking dogs in the pool, man.
Mhm.
Knows he's good. No, he has like the arrogance about him, but my man got 3 medals.
Yeah.
Like legit medals, all first place and fucking dominated. So very proud of this kid for putting the work in. So
That's really good.
shout out to the homie, man.
Shout out.
He's a special kid in the pool and he starts indoor soccer next week. But
Sheesh.
I mean he's a special kid in the pool. So very excited to see and he's only been doing it he hasn't even been swimming for a year, like competitively. I think it's been
Yeah.
like 6 months. So
Yeah.
kid's a problem.
So, because we've heard the beginning of how all this started till now, you just have to continue the stories. Like you can't stop now because everyone's going to listen for this journey. Like I've had people text me about what's happening next with Mason.
So we actually just signed him up for. So the coaches, we sign him up if we want to do a swim meet. You can pick and choose the ones you want to do. So we sign him up for one, and then the coaches will pick what events he has to do. So he's doing one of the medley races, which is you have to do all 4 strokes. So it's 100 meters. So it's down, back, down, back. He's got to do freestyle, butterfly, backstroke, and breaststroke, which is like for a 6-year-old to go down and back, like just down is a lot.
That's a lot.
A normal human being
Twice.
to go across the pool is tough, man. I'm dying after that.
Yeah.
But to go down and back, and then down and back is so that's going to be one of those things where, like, if he wins or when he wins, like, that's one of those things. Like, that's an accomplishment. So, like, you know, yes, we're all locked in on this journey together now. So
yeah,
we'll see. And then the summer's going to be like every weekend will be races. So we'll have a lot more going on in the summertime. But yeah, kid's a fucking problem in the pool, dude. And I love to see it.
Damn, shout out to that. So I have 5. There's only one that's important. The rest of them don't matter. It's going to be quick. The first one is fuck Temu. There's some bitches. If anyone's ever used that website, don't ever use it. I promise you of that. Second one, France is going to have for the World Cup these mint green Statue of Liberty jerseys to pay homage to the Statue of Liberty agreement and stuff. Those look super dope. The next one is condolences go out to Anthony Joshua and everything that happened over there.
Yeah, crazy.
That's a crazy situation. The next one is we have a fitness challenge. I tell everybody about this all the time.
Yeah.
And so I have a new team. So I have 3 guys in the warehouse. One of the guys is a Giants fan. And I came in because they haven't seen me in a minute. And I was like, did you log your workouts? They're like, oh, how do I log it? I said, clearly you didn't log any. Just go in and log it. All I need you to do is to put like 3 workouts in. That's more than the Giants have. So in wins, just do that. And then he was like, really? You had to do? I said, dude, just click it 3 times.
And we're good. Your team.
Yeah, that's all you got to do. So he focused on the computer after that. Final one, we got to go to my man, Jeff.
Of course.
So Jeff, everyone knows, is a Cleveland Browns fan. And he's an Ohio State Buckeye fan through and through to both. And then earlier this year, he started popping out saying, you know, I don't know if I could support the Cleveland Browns because they're just not doing it. So I've been following Baker, so I'm a Bucks fan. So he's been saying like he's a Bucks fan. And then today he pops out and he was like, Christian, you know I'm a 49ers fan through it. I said, hold up.
Through it. Well, we got potentially 6 games left. How you through it yet?
We got 3 teams. There's no way you did that. He said, so you know we might have the playoffs just come through San Francisco the whole way. So there's no we. Like you were a Cleveland Browns fan.
How did he jump on the bandwagon for the Niners?
He said he's always liked them. Sure. From the Jerry Rice. Oh, he was like, because you know I used to envision being a Jerry Rice guy, like catching up.
Yeah.
And I said, how are we doing this? There's no way. He said, I might start aging myself if I keep listing different players like Dwight. And I said, there's no way we are calling ourselves a 49ers fan. He said, yeah, like back in the day, that's who I told my dad I wanted to be like. I said, all right, Jeff, you got it. The more stories you give me, the better. Also, for anyone wondering, Jeff still has not had McDonald's. We told you why.
That was my last question of the night. Damn,
no McDonald's. Yeah, he's been having something. So that's a talk around town. Because I went into someone else's office. I was like, no McDonald's for Jeff? No, Jeff hasn't been to a McDonald's. I said, dang. So I appreciate everyone tuning in. We had 26 people. So thank you for that. Until next time.
Peace.
We out.